are there motivation, or are we just dreaming them? There's no sense behind it.
No, there's no sense in anything, and there's no reason for anything at all. The only thing that wants a reason or an answer to the question why is me. Me wants an answer to the question why am I here and what is this about. There is no answer. If you listen to anything that's being said here, the response is not an answer, because there isn't an answer. This whole manifestation, including seeking and everything, is completely and utterly meaningless.
For example, it's so hard for me to get rid of the all-day life.
You
Because,
can't.
yeah, it's hard.
No.
For example, someone is, for example, jobless, and he's or she is searching for a new job. There is a motivation to feel better. And if this motivation wouldn't be there, the person wouldn't search for a new job.
No, me is motivation. Me is motivation to make the story better. When me collapses, because it's an illusion anyway, there is no story and there isn't anything to make better. And that is liberation.
So I don't. So it needs
Me is totally imprisoned in trying to make its story better. It never will. Or to become enlightened. The me can be motivated to become enlightened, but it's still a personal enlightenment that me wants. Me is a great big monster that's very sticky, and it takes ownership of everything for itself. But it's also totally illusory.
So it's better to just enjoy.
Sorry? No, you can't even enjoy this. No. For the me, there is no hope at all of making anything better. It might be better for a little while, and then what happens in the end is that the root of that disquiet is always there, which is separation. And until that isn't there, there's always a disquiet. Me lives in quiet desperation. It's awful.
Would suicide be a much more efficient way to react then?
No, the me is completely helpless. There's no such thing as free will and choice. The me believes there is, but everything is responded out of the physiology. And so there is nothing in there that can make things better or worse. There's something in there that dreams that it can. And invariably it makes them worse. But there's nothing in there that can...
But wouldn't suicide then be a much more...
Well, suicide is another choice. Who's going to commit suicide? If you couldn't choose to commit suicide, then you could choose to become enlightened. They're both dreams. You didn't choose to come here tonight. You could dream that you chose to come here because you'd heard how wonderful I am, which is true. But coming here happened. Nobody chose to come. This is happening. Nobody's choosing this to happen. This isn't choosing. There is no such thing as an experience of non-separation. When the imaginary or the dreamt me vanishes, then all that's left is what is. There's no longer anything that is aware or knows oneness or has found its true nature, whatever that is. There's nothing left but what is and isn't. So there isn't something in here that now knows something or has something. Everything has been completely lost. Me has lost everything. It's died, it's collapsed. All that's left is life. So what you're looking at is life happening. And what I'm also looking at is life happening. with maybe an idea that me is experiencing that life, having that life, that life is happening to me. It isn't. There is just life.
A perception of life.
No, there's no perception of it. No, if there was a perception, there would be somebody perceiving that there's life. That's the same as being separate. Awareness is the accomplice of separation. Awareness is that which keeps the me separate from the experience of sitting on a seat. So the me can be aware of sitting on a seat, which means that it's separate from that aliveness. It's not that aliveness, it's aware.
Well, in my experience, perception doesn't require me.
Well, apparent perception happens, but not from a centre, not from any. There isn't anyone that perceives.
That's what I mean.
There was somebody there.
If the me disappears for minutes or for days, and then it can happen that it comes back.
Yeah, in awakening prior to liberation, that can be like that. Yeah.
And then the problem is the me has the memory of it.
Yeah.
He sees that nothing can be done.
No, it's
This
awful.
is horrible.
It's worse. It's worse to be an awakening than it is to be a seeker. Because you're in two worlds now. This, awakening happened in a park once, and then years after that, this Tony Parsons, that was a seeker, wanted that. It was like a curse, really. It was so amazing that this knew there was nothing else like that.
And is this maybe a process or something like
No,
that?
there's no process. There isn't any process because there's no time. There's no time. It's awful.
And is liberation a random phenomenon?
No, because I'm very sorry about this. But there's no such thing as a seeker, and there's no such thing as liberation. I'm just speaking to a reality that lives in an apparent story, and telling an apparent story about something that doesn't actually happen. And this is another problem for me. Me thinks that liberation is going to happen next week. Me lives in what will be. That's all it can exist in. That's its function. And so when it hears this, it then thinks it can wait until liberation happens. But liberation doesn't happen in that sense. What dies at the point of what we call liberation is that which was waiting for liberation to happen. And then it's recognised there was never anybody, there was never a me, that the whole thing was an illusory, and there wasn't anything that needed to wait for anything. It's indescribable. So it's not random. There is only wholeness, and within that wholeness arises something that feels there isn't only wholeness. When that collapses, there is wholeness. We're talking about a paradox here. We're talking about the deep mystery that has been communicated since the beginning of apparent time, but really hidden. This message is a very rare message. It's always been communicated, and it can be found here or there, hidden away in all those awful scriptures and gospels, which tell you what you should do. It's a hidden message. Sorry? It doesn't collapse because it was never real. The me doesn't collapse. The illusion of there being a me suddenly is no more. Energetically, it's a contracted energy which melts back into the whole, apparently. But in the end, when that's there, it's realised there never was a contracted energy. It's a game that wholeness plays. Wholeness pretends that it isn't whole anymore and rushes around looking for itself.
state of some kind of...
Well, it really doesn't keep it because it's illusory, but you could say that holiness arises as an apparent separate energy, chasing around looking for itself, and it builds churches and ashrams.
Is there something preventing it by itself collapsing into this unity? Why is it kept in this?
What's preventing liberation is the idea that it's going to happen to you. And there are many, many teachers who will tell you that. There are many teachings, there are many so-called non-dual teachings which feed the illusory story of me becoming enlightened. It's very well supported, that fallacy.
I guess my motivation why I'm here
Sorry, say that again.
my motivation why I am here is
Oh, are you? Oh, there's someone here. About fear and panic. Well, no, if this is recognised, it's frightening. It's terrifying. If this is recognised somewhere, even here, it's a terrifying message because it's about the end of that thing that thinks it's there. It's about the end. This is the end. Without no instruction manual on how to die. No. If this gave you an instruction manual, you could continue reading that for years, hoping that the next page would be the answer you want. That's what seeking is about. Instruction manuals. There's loads, tons of them. How to be, how to find your true nature, how to find enlightenment. It's bullshit.
So who or what is talking?
No, nothing is talking and nothing is asking. Nothing is asking who is talking, but it may go through the filter of the apparent me. That question. This is coming out of nothing.
Or will always be...
The me is in the illusory dream of being something that is real. I'm not doing anything here because I'm not here. And that's not a joke. All there is here is what's happening. There isn't anybody here.
So what makes you go on?
Nothing makes me go on, but going on seems to happen. Those were his last words. Going on seems to happen, but going on isn't really happening because there is no such thing as time. There isn't something here that will go on for years. There isn't anything here that's going on at all. This is what is. All this is what is.
So what is this whole structure?
What structure? It's just nothing or energy appearing as body or rooms. No reason at all. I did say at the end of it that this whole manifestation is totally meaningless, beautifully meaningless. Nobody. There's no creator, there's no authority. Energy is a totally impersonal energy which has no instruction or authority of any sort.
There is no logic,
None at all, no logic, no God. It's only perfect when there's no one looking. There's some things that can't be communicated. When the illusion of me collapses, what is left is unknowable. So it can't be communicated. That's not, you haven't quite finished, have you?
No.